Tennyson King for Global Music Match. How are you going? Tell us where you're from and what kind of music you play.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm originally from Hong Kong, but I grew up here in Canada, and I'm in Canada right now in a town called Mississauga in the province of Ontario, which is like the east south side of the country. And I play indie folk singer-songwriter music.
Nice. I am listening to your music. I can hear like a Donovan Frankenreiter kind of vibe and a that really summery, very easygoing.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
I've been loving listening to your tracks.
Thank you so
They're good
much.
fun. And you tour Australia a lot. You've been here quite a
Yeah,
bit over the last few years. How often
yeah.
do you get out?
I think I've been there. I don't know if it's four or three times, but I think it's four, and I'm coming up on my fifth time. So I should be coming there in November as long as my visa gets approved, which I think it will. So
Amazing.
I'm manifesting that and putting it out there that it will get approved.
Love it. Now tell me about your musical life. Do you do music full time or do you have a job or is it a mixture? How do you make the economics of music work for you?
I'm a full-time musician. I don't have any other work outside of music. Within the music industry, I used to do a lot more. So I used to produce artists in Canada and actually and some in Europe too. And I used to playing guitar and piano for different artists and touring with them. And
Mm,
yeah, and that was, and actually sometimes even I do grant writing for artists as well
yeah,
in
great.
Canada. So these days though, in the past like three-ish, four-ish years, I mean, yeah, in the past few years, I've been mainly just focusing on my music that I put out and share. So that's been going well enough that I've been able to just focus on that, and that's been my main
Mm.
source of income.
And that's been going well for you. You've just won some big awards in your local town, is that right?
Yeah, I won. I won an award for being a songwriter of the year. Yeah, at the
Yeah.
Mississauga Music Awards.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
Amazing. Is that the first award you've won at home?
yeah. That's the first award I've won anywhere. I think music award.
Yeah. And how do you feel? Do you feel like, when you get a win like that, does it fuel you to keep going?
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, it's very. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be recognized, and it kind of gives you a nice confident boost. I mean, I feel like
Mm,
being in music and any creative industry, we're always slightly clouded by certain amounts of self-doubt, just as like insecure humans are, and just having a bit of extra recognition never hurts, right? It just kind of definitely keeps
yeah,
me inspired to go and makes me think that people believe in me as well, so I'm not on my
mm,
own in believing in myself, which is nice.
totally. And now you travel a lot. How do you find solo travel mostly?
I'm mostly solo travel, and then sometimes I have a band that plays a run of shows for me, like within the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long have you been touring for? Like, at what point did you study music, or um, has it been a thing you've always done?
Yeah, no, and not no, not really. I started music pretty late in my life, in my like mid 20s. I'm like mid 30s now, so I didn't. I went to music production school for a year after I went to uni, taking just some random arts things and partying,
Mm.
and then
That's a rite of passage, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just kind of have to do it. And yeah, so I started music a bit later, and um, yeah, I think that was like maybe like 9 years ago now. I decided that I would try to pursue music as a life career. And at first, it was pretty tough. I was living in the city of Toronto, just being a really poor musician, working like
Mm.
random jobs any time of the day, and then trying to gig as much as possible in the city. And then
Yeah.
I guess about 6 years ago, I was able to make it full time. But again, I was doing everything. I was teaching too at the time, teaching music part time, producing,
Mm.
session playing, and doing all of it. And then I guess, yeah, ever since that 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I started touring as well, but just maybe like 2 or 3 months of the year. I could get away.
Yeah.
And then in 2017, I took it full time, just kind of just touring pretty much like 10 months of the year when I could,
Mm.
minus the COVID stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're touring a lot, and what are you hoping to get out of Global Music Match as a touring artist? Are will you be making content on the road, or will you have some time at home to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a bit of a tour break right now, so I'll be making some content here in Mississauga, but I think I'll also have to do some content while I'm on the
Mm,
road as well for spotlights that are in November. So yeah, that'll be interesting because it is kind of challenging making content on the road, as I'm sure you'd get.
yeah.
You tour a lot too, but I think it could be but I think it could lead to some cool stuff because then I can do it in random places and it'll be
Yeah.
pretty real and authentic to who I am. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm a bit like both scared and excited for that part of it. But yeah, I'm also
Absolutely.
just really I just want to meet people too. Like I love traveling and meeting people from different cultures and countries, and especially collaborating with people musically. It's like that's like the top. That's probably the best thing I can do when I'm
Yeah.
traveling somewhere, right? Like to connect with someone musically from a different culture is it doesn't get any better than that. So yeah, so I'm hoping all this is going to lead to real life in person.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite place in Australia that you'd like to visit?
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for Queensland, especially around the Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, just because I love the ocean and the beach and I love surfing. And it's really like the what we can't get in Canada,
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
we have Melbourne and Sydney and the cities and Adelaide too are all like really cool cities and I've had a great time there, but they're kind of just like a city similar to a city in Canada, except it's
Yeah.
not as cold. So for me, it's like, well, when I'm in Australia, like I want to be right on the ocean, you know.
Mm,
So that's
yeah.
that. I'm a sucker for that area of Australia.
It's
But
been such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining me on this little adventure. I look forward to
yeah,
getting over to Canada and hanging out in Australia when you're back. Do you have your 2 days handy and you want to give them a plug and let us know when you're here?
yeah, my tour dates. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. I should be there by early November, playing at starting with the Bendigo Blues Roots Music Festival in
Yeah.
Victoria, and then yeah, and then from there I'll be kind of playing from Southern Victoria all the way up to Northern Queensland as far as Cairns, and then coming back down the coast. So between November all the way to the end of January, I'll be in the country.
Awesome. I hope we get to catch up for a cuppa, in person
Yeah,
somewhere along the lines there. Yeah.
for sure. I
Good.
agree. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Set us free.